Welcome back to another episode of Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, TJ Trimboli. I'm taking that one again because that was
TJ,
fucking
chum with
hard.
me. I'll chum with you.
Welcome back to another episode of Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, TJ Trimboli, and with me, as always, my co-host, owner and operator of the Winchester, got Mr. James O'Reilly in the house tonight.
Yeah, that guy took a real beating. They were like beating
Yeah,
him
he
with
did.
pool sticks for a solid like minute and a half, it felt like.
This is what you get for being the owner and operator of the hot new pub on the block. Like, just shut up shop now. What's the tap on hand these days? What's everyone drinking?
I don't know, beer? Like what kind of questions are these?
We got beer, and the crowd goes wild.
No, it's I don't know. I'm trying to think of a stupid IPA name, but I'm blanking.
He's got nothing, people. So I'll just tell you that each week we take a look at a different movie from our childhood, and we see how well it's aged, along with the
It's
hype surrounding the film.
here's
We've
what's on
got,
top. Ferry's Inlet IPA.
and would you just look that one up?
No, I just made it up. It sounds like one though, right? Like
It easily could be. I
I
totally would
think
buy
I
it.
think a boat name and you're like halfway there.
Something
Like,
hoppy, and you got it. We're in business. Jim, what are we watching tonight?
like barge banana. No, not banana. Banana's not good.
We are not watching Barge Banana.
Barge port.
That's 2 weeks from now.
No, we're watching Shaun of the Dead.
That's right. The 2004 zombie comedy, directed by Edgar Wright from a script by him and Simon Pegg, and starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Now, I got the DVD cover because, of course, Jim, how are you not going to own Shaun of the Dead on
It's
some
pretty
form?
easy. I just don't own Shaun of the Dead.
That's crazy, Jim. What are you doing with your life? It's going to come a day when streaming does you wrong, and you're not going to have your copy there. And what are you
I
going to
mean,
do
there's
then?
been plenty of a day that's happened. I just like I don't know. I've seen Shaun of the Dead like 10 times. It's okay.
Well, all right, fine. Be like that. But we got our lovely little log line on the back here, and it reads: There comes a day in every man's life when he has to get off the couch and kill some zombies. When flesh eating zombies are on the hunt for a bite to eat, it's up to Slacker Sean and his best pal to save their friends and family from becoming the next entree.
Amazing.
Absolute perfection right there. Now were you part of the squad? Did you come see this with us?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there. I was just with Brendan before, and I was asking him if he came for Shaun of the Dead. And he was like, I think I was there. And then he couldn't name a single detail from the movie. So I little reservations on that one, but
I mean, do you think he only saw it the one time?
probably, absolutely. He's not a movie watching guy. But yeah, no, I remember at least you, me, and blank were there. I know that for a fact. And a good time was had by all. I think that was one of the first R-rated movies that we snuck into.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
gonna say this was rated R, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was rated R. I don't have a ticket stub for it because I'm pretty sure that's what we
Oh, yeah,
did.
we must have snuck
Yeah,
in, yeah.
that we snuck into seeing it. That we probably just bought a ticket for something else that was out that weekend, maybe The Forgotten, and we went and saw Shaun of the Dead
The
instead.
Forgotten. Dude, I by the way, I cannot wait till we get to The Forgotten. Like these other movies we're doing are okay, but like man, oh
Jesus,
man, I cannot wait to get to that movie.
all this stuff here is just wetting. It's just to wet your beak, like before we get to the entree.
Yeah, it's all context for, it's that weekend we're going through, that September 24th, 2004. It's all context just to see what the landscape was like when The Forgotten was released. Because, like, that's the most memorable movie out of this list for me.
Which is absurd because I would think if you like would ask someone on the street like, "Hey, do you remember The Forgotten?" They'd be like, "Absolutely not." But if you ask them if they remember Shaun of the Dead, like they probably would easily be able to remember that one.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like Shaun of the Dead's great and everything, but it doesn't have Julianne Moore just like totally in her bag.
I mean,
Like
you're not wrong there. You're not wrong. I can't lie. When Julianne Moore's in her bag, like not many things are better than it.
exactly, dude. She's like a bona fide star and she crushes it in The Forgotten. She's so
Some
great.
might say carries it.
Wait, why carries it?
Because there's no other like good person in that movie. Name one other person who's in that movie.
Oh, okay. Never
I don't know.
mind.
Well, you thought I was being tongue in cheeky. I didn't have anything
No,
there.
I thought
I
there
was
was
being
like
very
something.
literal.
I'll tell you exactly what I thought. I forgot that the name from Silence of the Lambs is Clarice, and I thought you were making like a deep cut reference to the fact that Julianne Moore is in the Silence of the Lambs sequel as the
Jim,
FBI agent
I
lady.
wish I was as smart and intelligent to pull off something to that
That
effect.
was the journey I just went on in my
That,
mind though. I was like, "Oh my God,
that
he's
was,
like a wizard. How did he
yeah.
do that?"
I've really stepped up my game here on the channel in the last couple episodes.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head who else was in The Forgotten. Just know that I cannot wait till we get up to that movie. I'm so excited for that.
We're almost there. Don't you worry. But yeah, let's dive into the box office in this bad boy because I don't really remember this movie making much of an impact in theaters because I remember us talking about it in school to people and we were like the only ones who went and saw this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll take a look here in a second.
Numbers, dates, and numbers, numbers, dates, array, dates, numbers. Show me the money.
All right. So, Shaun of the Dead comes out that weekend of September 24th. Um, it's going to be open against a $6 million budget, which is like
That's a good
pretty
budget.
reasonable.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
pretty
say that's
reasonable.
fair, very reasonable. We kill to
And
make a movie for 6 million these days.
yeah, against that that $6 million budget. Hold on, I'm accidentally on the September 24th dailies. So let me get
Oh,
to.
wow, this guy just
Oh my
clicking
God,
buttons.
this has gone so far off the rails.
It's
Hold
a
on.
classic Jimbo move. Click a button, have no idea
The
what
weekend
happened.
of September 24th through September 26th, we're back on the rails here. Um, it is gonna open with $3.3 million down in
No. Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, no
down in
wonder we were the
eighth
only ones
place.
talking about it in school. Wow, Jim, 3.3 is just enough to keep it out of last place as the worst opening weekend for a movie that we've done. That 3.3 is just good enough to beat Club Dread's 3.
Yeah, but it's also like kind of exactly why it's next to Club Dread is because like nobody's expecting to make a lot more than $3.3 million in the first weekend of this movie. That's why they only spent $6 million making it. You know what I mean? Like, um, so I don't know. I think it's like it looks like a low number, but in context, I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it'll be horrible because also I would imagine probably in Britain it's going to do all right. Also, like this is obviously going to make some money back. I think in the long run because it only costs 6 million to make. So 3.3 is not as earth shattering as it could be for other movies, but it is still just interesting to see like how low that opening was. Like
But
it
yeah,
makes sense that this really did go on to like really become a huge hit with people in the ancillary market.
yeah, and it's behind like it opens in eighth place behind Wimbledon in seventh and Cellular in sixth. Those are
Like
in
you're
their
getting,
second and third weekends
yeah,
respectively.
like you're getting beat out by fucking Cellular.
It's also losing to the opening weekend of First Daughter, which is that the Mandy Moore one or the Katie Holmes one? It's I think that it's
I
the Katie Holmes one.
It's yeah, I think it's the Katie Holmes. Yeah, because the Mandy Moore one's Chasing Liberty.
Right. Yes, of course. How could I forget Chasing Liberty?
Yeah, dude, how are you gonna mix those up, man? Where's your respect levels?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean like, 2004 Katie Holmes I guess is kind of a thing, but it is a little
Certainly
surprising
a
that
thing
it's
for
losing to
Tom.
that. I mean, one of those movies is in like the zeitgeist of the movie world, and like one of them is like we're like not sure if Katie Holmes was in it or not. You know what I mean?
It is cool seeing it though in this context. Seeing how it like didn't really become such a big hit and popular until the ancillary market because it almost makes it feel like it was like a special moment that like we were like one of the few that like went and saw it in theaters.
Yeah, and I mean
That's cool.
this is back when cult movie. I mean that is cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that we did see it in theaters. Like not a ton of people did it. And like this is kind of like your prototypical like cult movie, right? which that used to be a thing where like a movie could be like moderately successful at the box office and then become a cult movie and make a killing in home video. Um, Now like it feels like every bad movie becomes a cult movie because there's literally zero commitment to watching movies these days, like
Yep.
on the secondary market.
Streaming really just fucked us as a whole for all
Yeah,
these things.
like now me putting on a movie is like, well, I'm gonna sit down and eat breakfast for 10 minutes. I guess I could put on this movie. Like that's it's like just funny to think that back
But
then like movies like this could catch fire on DVD and like become like huge runaway successes, you know?
it's a wonderful time.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll keep following here. Weekend two, it actually goes up to seventh place.
Oh,
Only a
all right.
27.3% drop.
That's not bad. That's good.
Down to
That's a really good drop.
2.4 million. Weekend three, notably, this is Indigenous Peoples Day weekend.
Oh,
It drops back down to eighth, $1.6 million, only a 33.3% drop.
all right. Solid holds.
Uh, and then weekend four, it's out of the top 10, but it pulls in another $1.1 million in its fourth weekend, which like 31.2% drop. This is like pretty impressive. I mean, like this movie didn't cost a lot to make. It's only on like 600 screens throughout this whole run. So it's a pretty limited release too.
Yeah. And
And
it's just
I mean, it's doing
consistently,
well.
yeah,
It's
it's
like already beat its
consistently,
budget for
yeah,
sure.
just hovering around like the same totals. Like that's solid framework right there.
Yeah, and then we'll just go through the totals. Domestic, it finishes with 13.7 million, so doubles its budget, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
International, 16.5 million for a worldwide total of 30.2.
All right. So 30.2 going to put us in the 85th spot here on our list, more towards the bottom. But again, that 6 million budget is really helping it there, where the other movies that it's around had like triple the budget. So it's still in a good spot from where it is. But it's going to sit in the 85 spot between Head of States 38.6 and Ahead of Eight Crazy Nights 23.8. For context, Head of State cost 35 million to make. Eight Crazy Nights cost 34. So like
Yeah, right.
yeah, like you're making the right moves there on Shaun of the Dead's part.
It's like a talented director, like really shining too. You know what I mean? Like with he really gets a lot out of that 6 million.
Yeah, well, and this is really like his coming out party too, because like this is the first, even though like at the time when we saw this movie, like I still didn't like have a concept of who Edgar Wright is or was, but like that's like his coming out party for letting him to get and do so much like better stuff as time would go on. Like he's one of those guys that I feel like with every movie he's gotten better and better.
Did you see One Night in Soho?
Last Night in Soho, yeah,
Last Night in Soho, that's what it was called.
a
Yeah.
real yeah classic.
Dude, I agree with you. Like the first like 90 minutes of that movie are wildly great. Like they're really great.
So great.
It does go a little bit off the rails at the end,
I
but
feel like a lot of the times in movies like that, whenever you have to pull the rug back, it's always a really tight balancing act between like keeping you on the ride and losing you completely.
well, it just like it really leaned into the supernatural aspect of it, which makes sense because like the supernatural aspect is definitely happening the whole time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's still not exactly clear what happened when she went into that mirror or whatever she did. But I don't know, it gets a little weird down at the end when like all the people like start like chasing her and stuff. It's like a 80s like B movie for a little
yeah,
bit at the
yeah.
end.
It's good
But
stuff.
yeah, for a while though, you're right. Like I'm not really gonna necessarily know this guy's name. I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's the guy who made Shaun of the Dead made this. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I'll recognize him.
Yeah. Are you ready for Edgar Wright's new movie, The Running Man?
I'm pretty ready for it. Yeah, it looks pretty great.
Yeah. Actually adapting the Stephen King novel this time with Glenn Powell in the lead. Like, yeah, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. Also, how dare you say that the 80s movie Running Man isn't an adaptation?
Is the most
They couldn't have
loose.
adapted it any harder.
They were like, I like the title. What else do you like? Get out of here.
Yeah, no, like the whole like trying to kill people thing, that's pretty cool too. Like,
They're like, I'm gonna take the name of the book and I'm gonna take the fact that they're in a game and everything else. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah, but like, oh man, dude, that The Running Man's maybe the best movie adaptation ever, though, I would say.
I mean,
But
there's something to say for that movie and the fact that like they could so loosely translate a book, but still create like an absolute banger of a movie.
they're giving the same message, but to an 80s audience. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and they're doing such an expert job at it.
Yeah.
They're like, first of all, we're gonna put Arnold Schwarzenegger in
He lies Sub-Zero. Now Plane Zero.
it. Yeah.
Masterful. Masterful.
But no, I'm excited for I saw the trailer for the Glenn Powell movie, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Michael Cera who's with him in it too, right? Which
Yep.
is like,
Yeah.
that sounds very
Absurd.
interesting.
Yeah. Also absurd. And what's it? Josh Brolin, I think, is like the dude who runs like the network.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think there's a non-zero chance that like the Zoomers don't remember Michael Cera. I think he's kind of
It's entirely
like he
possible.
like I'm trying to think like I mean Superbad's a big one, but a lot of the movies Michael Cera was in like on his own kind of like disappeared, you know?
I would say
And
outside of like Superbad and Arrested Development, like what's another thing Michael Cera has done since then that like people would be like that Michael Cera from?
yeah, I mean, like, This Is the End, he literally plays Michael Cera. And I just think it's so fascinating because I think when This Is the End came out, like, everybody knew who Michael Cera was. You know what I mean? Like, he was, like, famous, you know? And, like, now, I think you can get away with putting Michael Cera in Running Man and just having him act like Michael Cera. And people are going to be like, we've never seen anything like this. Like I really think he's gonna be the perfect comedic touch to that movie that the Zoomers just don't know what they've been missing.
It's entirely possible.
Like I'm pretty sure if you're on TikTok like at least 2 hours a day, you don't know who Michael Cera is. I'm like pretty confident of that.
I would go one step further though. If you're on TikTok for 2 hours a day, I think there's a lot of things you probably don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what these people do, man. They're on TikTok
That's
a
what we're doing.
lot.
We're calling you stupid people.
Nuh-uh. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I can't wait till you meet Michael Cera.
Allow me to
I don't know.
reintroduce myself.
I'm getting onto so many tangents in this one, man.
You are.
You're
You're
throwing
you're
me off here.
you're a tangy kind of guy tonight. Uh,
But
another
yeah, I think that's it for the box office.
Yeah. Well, Jim, we got another week, another just fantastic commercial appeal for these movies. You know, last week Infernal Affairs was scoring in the high 90s. Shaun of the Dead following in kind. This movie, 92% from the critics, 93% from the audience,
Wow.
7.9 from the IMDb people, and the B plus cinema score. So misses out on that A minus still, but everything else across the board is high and mighty.
Yeah, wow. B plus cinema score. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now I got two user reviews for us here, Jim. I've managed. It's been light for the past few weeks, and I've been able to condense it down to one of each. And I think that's all right for where we are right now until we find some crazy ass people again. But it seems like IMDb they have really slowed down in their insanity. That seemed to be a very
Yeah.
2003 2000 it was 2004 the year that we healed finally as a nation.
I mean, maybe, sir, because I it was a real rough go of it there for a while with the reviews.
Yeah, there was a time I
People were
couldn't open
really
up
on edge for a minute.
I couldn't open up a review without reading about 9/11. Like now I haven't read about 9/11 forever. They told me hashtag never forget, but IMDb forgot.
Yeah, I suppose. But like, are you telling me like they're just not like getting into like conspiracy theories or anything? Like, there's got to still be some of like the hits in these, right?
Dude, not even some of the hits, man. In this week, I didn't get one person calling anyone a babe, not anyone being any type of ist, like no
Nobody,
racist, no
none of the one star
misogynist.
reviews are like calling people stupid or anything. Like, there's nobody uses the word idiot.
Not this week. No.
All right, well let me just hear this one because I don't
All
know. I think it's gonna be
right,
crazier than you're expecting.
maybe. Yeah, we'll let you be the judge. We have our one-star review here, and they write, "This movie was such complete garbage that it wasn't even worth the electricity I paid to view it. This movie
Come on, these people are bringing the thunder still though. That's great. That
Yeah, but that's
wasn't
just
even
like
worth the
that's just
electricity I paid to
but
view it.
that's just funny. That's not like that guy's not unhinged. Like he's
Yeah,
just
no,
like
it's not funny, dude. We've seen a whole new like twist here, where everybody who writes these fucking reviews thinks they're like this like super witty like writer critic guy. Like, dude, that joke is not good. It's not good. It's so bad that it made me laugh. But like, I don't know. The people writing these take themselves way too seriously.
it continues. This movie stuns me that it even made it to the box office, or for that matter, even had a 30-second commercial to advertise it. I think half of the people on this website voting this movie an 8 or a 7 are out of their minds. I rated this movie a 1 for A, capital awful. But if it were a choice, I would give it less than that. Say maybe a 0.079.
Well, very specific.
Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, sir. He gave us so much there. Yeah, like he's still crazy, but that's a relative crazy right there. That one's not so bad.
I mean, we've just gone so far into the depths that like that guy's still crazy. Like he still watched a movie and is still very angry about the fact that people liked it. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
So I don't always give a movie a 0.079, but when I do, it's Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that might be the craziest part too. 0 to 10 wasn't enough for him. He's got to have like decimal points down to the tens place.
He's like, that's how they'll really know how I felt about it.
Yeah, point
Fucking,
seven nine. Like
fucking.
at that point, you couldn't just give it point 0.8. Like when do you round up, man?
All right. No, there's no rounding up here. And then we got our 10-star review here, Jim. And they simply write, this is without a doubt the second best film I have seen all year. The first being The Passion of the Christ.
Oh God!
That's his
All
10
right,
star review.
you're telling me that's not unhinged? Like that person's a fucking lunatic. That might be the craziest one we've read yet.
That we know that guy's going to be first in line for the resurrection, baby.
Yeah,
We'll see him for the two-parter. Let's go.
the resurrection. Oh man, there's no way that's gonna be wild, right? Like it's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, I don't see a world where a two-part movie about the resurrection of Jesus Christ after he was crucified is any good, but I'll be there to find out.
Yeah.
But
Dude, remember in the Passion of the Christ when those two little like Jewish kids are like turning into devils and they're like
yeah,
throwing like trash at Jesus?
a wild time. But all right,
What
Jim,
a crazy fucking movie that was.
Jim, let's turn it from one zombie. Let's turn it from one zombie to another. Let's dive into Shaun of the Dead here. What do how you feel about Shaun of the Dead?
I like it. I like it, man. I think that it's funny. Like it does all the zombie tropes, like, and it's definitely doing all of them like very tongue in cheek. And especially like all the like fight scenes with the zombies, they're like do a really good job of like playing off the like how silly it is and how not scary like really like zombie movies were back in the day. You know what I mean?
Like they
Like
kind of like George Romero, like they just like slowly like sleepwalk zombies.
yeah, yeah. And I get it that like the idea is they're like kind of like a creeping death. Like they don't need to chase you. Like they're gonna catch you one way or the other eventually, right? But like they just do a like they have a real good slapstick around that idea, you know, which I think is good. And then I mean, yeah, like it's got like Edgar Wright does a great job with this movie. Like I love that the first act is so long and like I think it's like a really good first act of a movie, you know?
Yeah, I think I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for this movie because this was actually the first movie that our teacher showed us when I went to film school. This was the first one they showed us, and it was an eye-opening experience for learning all of the little intricacies that go into what makes such a good movie great. And the first act in particular is something that consistently does so well in just the biggest thing is setups and payoffs. Like learning like how to spot those and see when they're done effectively is like such a was such an eye-opening thing watching this for the first time, like in film school, that I just gained such a new and groundbreaking appreciation for movies, and this one in particular, because it was like the one that showed me all of those things. So I will always love this movie. And I think one of the ones that they do so well in the opening of this is the double walk that he does, where like we see him walk to the general store like before the zombie apocalypse, and then he walks to the
Yeah,
general store again during the zombie apocalypse. And
yeah,
just such of the small little details and setups and payoffs that they do just within that framework is just so perfect and well done. Like, and one of the tiniest bits of it too is the fact that like to show that he's such in a routine and such a victim of his own just like comfortability. He trips in the same place on the curb
yeah,
every day going to the store. Like
yeah,
that's how
yeah.
routine this dude's life is. Like that he has that down to the like the minute detail. And it's just like when they explain that to me and like you see that, I was just like, dude, like this movie is so well done. Like it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and it's also like that is a cool thing, but that only works because it's like something visually interesting too, like the fact that he trips, right? Like, and that's what I love about that whole like sequence, like where it's really like seems like it's following him, right? Like the camera's like moving and it's like a one shot. Um, just like all the different like pops and like the way the angles change and then like somebody's walking down their driveway and then somebody's running by like it's like a very cool shot, you know what I mean, and then it pays off the way you're saying, like it's like it works both ways, like, and that's to me the only thing that makes it work at all is like it's interesting to watch because otherwise something like that feels like very self-indulgent, you know what I mean,
It
like
could feel very hokey. Well, what makes it work so well, I think, also in my regard, not to just it being like payoffs and setup, but like it ties into just the central like theme of his character, which is like this is just a dude who's watching life pass him by
yep,
and is perfectly content to do nothing with his life and bring everyone in his orbit down to his level when like his girlfriend wants him to be not even like anything spectacular, like just to try, just to like put any type of effort forward.
right, like
Yeah,
make a reservation at a
yeah,
restaurant, like that's
literally,
not hard.
yeah, literally just remember to make the reservation, like, and you're fine. And like he's so like just stuck in his own self-indulgent like rut orbit that like he can't even do that.
Yeah, no, and I get it. Yeah, and like it's like what a better way to get shaken out of your comfort zone than the zombie apocalypse, you know what I mean? And like it is
But then it's
interesting how
also
like
fun. It's fun also how like not only is it a way that shakes him out of his comfort zone, but he also finds out that when he's actually given like a motivation to do good, like his stepdad wanted for him, like he's a pretty good leader. Like like, and no one said like it had to be like perfect, but you tried. You took the leadership and you led and you made the decision, like, and you made the choice. No one else was making choices. Like you, like all they asked was that you stepped
yeah,
up
yeah,
and you did something. That's all she wanted was for you to do something, and you did something.
yeah. Yeah. And like it's amazing how like the zombie apocalypse like motivates him, like he's been watching life pass him by even up to the idea that like he's a 30 plus year old man who's never made peace with his stepdad. You know what I mean? Like it's like man, like you should have done that by now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been married to your mom. You're a grown man saying things like he's not my dad. Like
Telling your mommy, what if he touched me?
yeah. Yeah. Right. But like it's like like the zombie apocalypse happens and he like ties up all those loose ends like in about like 4 hours. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so
Finally,
cool,
just
yeah.
finally just gets his life in order. Like is able to do all the things that he's just been like putting off for as long as he can.
Yeah. But then the movie ends and he just goes right back to being a slacker. Like, and Liz is just kind of like, yeah, we can slack off. That's cool.
Yeah,
Like,
she kind of realized like after the zombie apocalypse, it seems more that she's just like, you know what? Maybe we don't have to do things. Like,
yeah, and that's kind of like what this movie is about to me, because like you're not wrong about a lot of the things you're saying. Like that's in the movie, but I think the real arc of this movie is people being like, why are we worried about all this dumb bullshit? Like let's just sit on the couch and enjoy ourselves, like the zombie apocalypse could happen. You know what I'm saying?
but I also think like it still falls in line with like what she wants. Like it's not like she was saying like I need to like see the world and do all this stuff. She was literally just like I just need you to make an effort.
Right. I just need to not go to the pub every night. I need to
Yeah.
go somewhere fancy once in a while,
Yeah.
you know, like
And you get that sense at the end there that like now it's like that he's able to make that effort and like their relationship will be fine because like he won't fuck up making the reservation again next time. Like now he's like he's shed all those childlike insecurities and he's ready to be a man.
right. Because that's really what it is. Like he's holding himself back by being insecure about a lot of things. Yeah.
He's basically got Peter Pan syndrome. Like
Yeah. And I
and
mean,
and,
yeah, like
and they
all
show
that is
that.
like,
Yeah,
this
go
is a
on.
really great movie for all the reasons you're saying. There's layers to it for
Yeah.
sure. And it's also like incredibly well shot. Like that shot, like the sequence you were talking about where he's walking to the store is like an amazing, like 45 to a minute long sequence of a movie, you know? Um, I also love like the editing in this movie, like all the different quick cuts that happen throughout it, and like it becomes like part of the style. Like it's really well done.
Well, I love movies too that like let themselves be movies. Like I love when they're like trying to come up with the plan what they can do, and they're like, "We're gonna bob over to mom's, like we're gonna kill Phil." Sorry, Phil. Like they slam him. They're like, "We
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
Coming back to the house, we have a pint." And every time he has the pint, he just looks at the camera and just like gives the cheers with like the wink. But it's just like
yeah.
it's such a movie thing to do. But it's just like I love when movies can just be movies and not try to be like we're making like a real life thing that like you're just watching. Like
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, think about like you could do that where they don't show any of that stuff, and it's just two guys arguing. But how much worse is it if they do it that way?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, there's always
so
something
much
going
better.
on screen that I'm watching, and then the like the routine of it and the beats of it become like part of the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Not only that, it plays with the rule of three because they do it the three times. So like each time you get a little bit of a variation on it as it builds
right.
up to like this, there like the actual punctuation of it. It's like it's just another like excellent use of like screenwriting tactics to like just visually create like a very well done movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is like yeah, it's really well shot. It's
It's
really well shot.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
It's great, dude. When they pull when they're at the Winchester and the zombies break through and they pull fucking David out, and you just watch as they just like rip open his stomach and like pull his guts out. I was like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ,
yeah.
like incredibly well done. Like,
Yeah, and that you talked a lot, by the way, of like in some of the recent movies we've done about like how the side characters are like the worst. Um, the side characters in this movie are spectacular, dude. Like they're so
yeah,
spectacular.
they're great.
Like it's part of what makes it so great. Like Bill Nye as Philip is like
So
chef's
good.
kiss. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
so good. Like
Like chef's kiss.
inspired choice for them to get Bill Nye to do that.
Yeah, and the roommate, like the or no, I guess like the friend who's like had unrequited love for her since college is
Yeah,
such a little worm,
yeah,
dude. Like he's
such a
such a great
weasel.
movie character.
Yeah, but it's just like what's great about him is that like it feels like they're real characters because like we've all known like real people who are like that. Like a dude who's like with a girl because he's settled, but is like secretly in love with like the other girl. Like, but
Right,
it's
right.
only a secret to
Yes.
him. Everyone else like sees it from a mile away.
Right, right. And just like he's such a little weasel, but he's like barely like a thing in the movie, but when he's in the movie, his part is so like feels so lived in, you know what I mean? Um Also all-time great moment when he like actually pulls the trigger at Shaun. Like he was good totally
He's like
gonna shoot
ready
him,
to
dude,
do
which
it.
is
Yeah,
insane. And like
like so ready to just like go there.
yeah. Like they really let that go, man, because he like pointed the gun at him and they were like, David, and he like pulled it like clicked, like he tried to kill him, dude.
Incredible. Yeah, and this movie just has so many just like great hilarious like this movie is really funny and the humor holds up incredibly well. I one of the moments that got the biggest laugh for me in this movie was when he's fighting with Liz and she's like, "Yeah, you don't want to go out with my friends because they're just a failed actress and a twat." And he's like, "I never called her a failed actress."
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely funny. It's kind of got like a British humor to it,
It's
which it to
very
me
British
isn't
humor.
usually as laugh out loud funny. Like, I get that this is a comedy. It's not like a belly laugh kind of movie for me though, I guess is
No,
how
no,
I
no.
would put
It's never one where like there's any like one scene where I'm like literally like dying, but there's always like joke or something there or something humorous that's like gonna get me and like works really well. And I just love what's the matter? You never taken a shortcut before? And as he jumps the fence, it just like folds on itself.
it. Yeah, yeah,
So like
yeah.
stuff like that gets me like every single time. Like it's a very humorous movie.
Yeah, I the opening when he's at the like whatever what store did he work at? It was like an appliance store.
They're like some like random appliance store.
All the interactions he had with that 17-year-old kid were
Yeah.
really funny.
He's like, what of it, old man? He's like, old man, I'm only 29. He's like, how old are you? He's like, 17. He's like, what, you think
Yeah.
I got stuff I want to do in my life too? And he's like, yes, what are you waiting for?
No, he just says when, which is
Where-
like one of the best lines in the movie. It's like he's like he just totally calls him out on it. But no, I love too like when he's like then like his stepdad comes to visit him at work and the kid's like, "Hey, I thought we couldn't have like our personal things going on at work. What's that all about?" And Liz calls and he tries to play it off like it's like a real
like
business
somebody from,
call
yeah,
from home office.
so good. Yeah, I think the best part of this movie is just like that act one build up because like it's just like perfectly well done. Like all
Yeah,
of the bits, like the layers of just like them being so dense and ignorant that they don't see anything in the world around them going on that's leading up to the zombie apocalypse. Like there literally is like they're changing every news station and it's literally just like spelling out for them what's happening, but they just
right.
keep changing the channel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just it's so well done. Like I think it's like the couple that they think is just making out, but she's really like just eating the guy like
Yeah,
outside the
yeah, yeah, right,
bar. Yeah,
right.
like there's just so many great moments that leading up to when they finally like have the other shoe drop. Like even when they find the girl in the yard, they're just like, she's drunk as fuck. Like
I did like by the way too the when they were like throwing records at them and they were like trying to like go through the
what yeah.
records and see which ones they could throw. Like
So that
that
was
part
an
was pretty
original
funny.
pressing. The Batman soundtrack, throw it.
Yeah, Dire
Dire
Straits.
Straits. Yeah, I
So
would also
throw
throw a
it.
Dire Straits album. No questions asked. So fun,
Oh
yeah. But
man.
yeah,
So
it's a
yeah,
very
there
funny movie that is structured and layered in a way that gives it such an extra oomph in the regard to the fact that he's a man child that's literally having to shed the insecurities of being a child and come out like the other side. Like I think that's such like a fun, interesting layer that plays on top of this. It's like
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
very well done.
Yeah, I mean it's a horror silly horror comedy made by a really good filmmaker, so it's really good. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way you could sum this up.
Yeah, and it's incredible the stuff that they would go on to do after this. You know, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost together, and then you know Edgar Wright on his own and Simon Pegg on his own. Like they would all like this movie really catapults them into just being a household staple in film and
Yeah.
television for us like ever since.
Yeah, and I mean there's a lot of bad like kind of Shaun of the Dead knockoffs. Like a movie I never watched, but Dale and Tucker versus Evil feels like kind of
Uh,
like
yeah,
like
something that feels like an offshoot of that.
right, like an offshoot of that, but like not made by Edgar Wright, so it's probably not quite as quality as this one is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just like this is like a thing that kind of he like almost spawns like in his own genre, but it really is just like a filmmaker making a fun movie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. And a fun movie he did. It is really cool now us having, you know, talked about this and revisiting it to see like just how on the ground we were when this thing dropped, man. Like we were there. We were there for the underground band before it went
on the
mainstream.
ground. Jesus. You might be making it sound a little cooler than it was.
Boots on the ground, baby.
Yeah.
A Friday night movie never felt so good.
Yeah. And I don't know, I don't really have much else to say about this one. I mean like it's fun, you know? Like I feel like we've hit like all the big things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is there anything about this movie that you don't like?
I mean, I don't know. It's pretty short, you know? It's like usually for a movie like this I would say like the length, but it's only like 90 something minutes. which
Yeah,
I think is perfect.
it is shorts that goes. And I mean any like stupid thing you can. It's like when it's really like a dumb comedy like this, it's kind of hard to just be like, well, like this wouldn't really happen or this wouldn't happen like this. And it's like, yeah, it's a comedy, man. Like it's not supposed to be taken with like an expert craftsmanship looking at it in that sense. So like
Yeah,
that,
I
like
just like I maybe am tipping my hand here a little bit, but I can't think of a movie that would be better for the Doctor Dolittle 2 award. You know what I mean? Like it's like the pinnacle of Doctor Dolittle 2 award movies.
really, yeah, really tipping your hat there. But that's all right. You can tip it as much as you want. Is there anywhere you'd like to take this, or you're good to turn your attention right to our star ratings?
I think we just go to the star ratings.
All right, I'm ready. Do
I
you
mean, all
think
like all these people are gonna return sooner rather than later. So
that is true? Do you think Raj? What drop do you think Raj would want you to play?
I'm Roger Ebert. Been a scene from the best film of the decade. This is a great film.
Wow, you actually chose wrong, Jim. He actually fucking hated this movie.
no, he didn't. Shut up.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He was in on it. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars. And he wrote that by now more or less exhausted by the cinematic possibilities of killing zombies, I am glad for what Shaun of the Dead brought to the table. Instead of focusing on the undead and trying to get the laughs there, it treats the living characters as sitcom regulars whose conflicts and arguments keep getting interrupted by annoying flesh eaters.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
not, yeah,
Yes.
not a bad way to look at that movie. Like that is
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
it's a really good way to look at it,
Yeah,
actually.
it's a really
Ebert
interesting
strikes
way.
again, dude.
Yeah, just a bunch of dudes just like hanging out at the Winchester that now have to deal with zombies. That's another thing that I love that is a great payoff is when Nick Frost is trying to cheer him up when Liz dumps him. And he goes, tomorrow, let's just keep drinking. Like we can have a bite at so and so. And the things that he describes are all the things that actually happen the next day.
Yeah,
Like and then they end up back at the Winchester for a shot where they start using the shotgun. So like it's like very expertly like woven the way that they do this movie. So
yeah.
like just another feather in its cap. And
No,
just
and Ebert, I think touched on like the most important thing there, which is like zombies were and still kind of are old hat. You know what I mean? Like the concept of them back when this movie came out was like very tired, and this was a very like fresh way to deal with it. You know?
absolutely. All right, Jim, so let's hear it then. Final thought, final rating for Shaun of the Dead.
4 out of 5 stars.
Oh,
The
four out
Doctor
of five.
Dolittle 2 award goes to Edgar Wright, Simon
Oh,
Pegg.
man. Come and accept your awards now. Actually, there's a knock on my door. I think they're here to get it. Let me go give it to them real quick. Jim, just another week, us just lock in step together. I'm also gonna give this bad boy 4 stars. So look at that. We are once again gonna have to do some battles with some eights. So let's do some battles we shall. Do you take Shaun of the Dead or do you take old school?
I'm gonna take Shaun of the Dead.
I'm also gonna take Shaun of the Dead. Are you gonna take Shaun of the Dead or are you gonna take Shrek 2?
Shaun of the Dead.
I would also take Shaun of the Dead. Are you gonna take Shaun of the Dead or Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Shaun of the Dead.
I would also
Like
take.
it's
uh,
tough, dude. Chamber of Secrets is a great movie, but there's too much fat, too much.
I'm also gonna take Shaun of the Dead. Are you gonna take Shaun of the Dead or are you gonna take the Hong Kong classic Infernal Affairs?
I think I would take Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I would take
It's
Shaun of the.
close though.
I would take Shaun of the Dead also. I think this might be where we grind to a halt, though. Or do we take Shaun of the Dead or Collateral?
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
You missed one, didn't you?
Which one?
Did you ask me Shaun of the Dead or Seabiscuit yet?
Biscuit is above Collateral.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Wait,
No,
come
I
on,
wouldn't
Jim.
take. I would take Collateral above Shaun of the Dead.
I would also take Collateral above Shaun of the Dead. So Shaun of the Dead going to sit in the number 21 spot in the top 25, sandwiched between Collateral and Infernal Affairs. But we'll ride out the rest of the eights, Jim. Give you already broke You broke the lead here, Jim. You taking Shaun of the Dead or you taking Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit.
Yeah,
Like,
absolute
I'm
win.
sorry. I'm so excited for
Just
Seabiscuit.
always excited to talk about Seabiscuit. Do you take Shaun of the Dead or you sack of wine, Troy?
I would take Troy.
Troy, absolutely. Shaun of the Dead or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Shaun of the Dead.
No, I would take How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah,
I know
I
you're
think
burnt.
I
I know
put
you're
that
burnt
one
out on
too
it, but
high. Put it.
no.
It's too high on the eights.
You think we did it too high?
I think so.
Well, it's up there. Shaun of the Dead or Signs?
Signs.
Yeah, I would take Signs also. And
Because
then
it's like it's like Collateral and Seabiscuit are like top tier eights, and then we're like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like,
it is crazy
and
that How to
then
Lose a Guy in
and
10 Days
then
is
you
above
say
those.
Signs, and it's like one of these things is not like the other, man.
Yeah, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days should probably be just underneath Collateral.
That's what I'm saying. It's
But
too high. It's too high.
that's where we were when we rocked it, man. That
No,
was
I hear you. I hear you. I'm
past
not saying you should like you have it in the wrong spot. I'm saying we had it in
yeah,
the wrong spot.
past TJ and past Jim were making wild moves. And then King of the Eights, Shaun of the Dead, or A Knight's Tale.
I'll take A Knight's Tale.
I would also take A Knight's Tale. But I think once again, like the eights just continue to add top tier talent to its ranks. So I think it's a very great collection of movies there. When we're in
Yeah.
lockstep together, like we got a great collection of movies.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the ones you just said deserve to be eights. Really, all of them, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, no, it works perfectly. And now, Jim, I know it's just been sitting there in your stomach, just waiting for it to come up. It's finally here. Next week, we will finally tackle Julianne Moore's The Forgotten.
I'm so excited.
So I think I watched this once when it came out, and I don't think I've ever touched it ever again. And
So honestly, it's probably going to be a lot closer to cellular than either one of us would prefer. But like until that's proven in a court of law, I'm going to keep being excited about
listen, you never have to convince me for a Julianne Moore movie. Like I'm there. Like
it.
I'm in. I'm with you for it. I'm ready with the people, and we're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. Do you got anything to leave the people with? What was the last thing you jammed on? Anything new and exciting?
um, I'm trying to think if there's. I know I said Alfred Hitchcock Presents recently. Um, I don't know. I haven't really watched TV as much. Like I've been watching the movies for this for the most part.
Last thing I watched, me, Blank, and Brendan went to go see the new Naked Gun.
Oh, how was that?
Surprisingly, like very funny. Like it was way better
I'm
than
not surprised by that at
I
all.
thought. I thought that movie was going to be garbage, and it was pleasantly surprising by how funny it was. There was a lot of like really funny like play on words and like just really silly gags in it that there was always something to laugh at. And it did what
Yeah,
like great comedies need to do, which is have a lot of visual humor in the
right,
background as well as what's going on in the foreground because it
right.
invites you to like actively be off your phone and actively be watching because like you don't want to miss anything.
I would argue that it's hard to make a Naked Gun movie that's not funny. Like I'm not surprised at all that that movie's funny.
It's very funny. There's a moment where like they're talking, and in the background there's a door that says "cold cases," and it's just an entry into a freezer, a walk-in freezer.
Yeah, right. But that's what I mean. Like the humor is a lot of low-hanging fruit.
Oh, dude,
Like,
there's so many dumb jokes in it that get me every like the things that get me the most are the play on words. Like there's a moment where the bad guy takes out a cigar to offer to Liam Neeson. He goes, "Cigar," and Liam Neeson just goes, "Looks like it."
dude, the one from the trailer that always got me was when he was like, "You were convicted of man's laughter." It must
You
have
mean
been a real good
manslaughter?
joke.
Yeah, it must have been quite the joke.
Like it's so fucking stupid, but it's
Yeah.
so
Dude,
funny.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. There's when he's talking to Pamela Anderson about, and he's like, when she's like, yeah, I've been here in LA since I was like a little girl. I went to college out here. And Liam Neeson goes, UCLA? And she goes, I see it every day. I live here.
Yeah,
I fucking lost it.
but like it's like if dad jokes were a movie, like it can't be bad. Like there's no way it's not really funny, you know? Like
Yeah. So it's like very funny in that regard, with just like how like ridiculously silly and stupid it is. So like I was like so pleasantly surprised. And we had an absolute like great time watching it. It was pretty much a sold out theater also. So like it was just you forget how great it is to see comedies on the big screen until like they finally put a good one in there and you're in like a
right. And
theater
a
full
bunch
of
of people are
people
there
and
laughing and having a good
everyone's
time.
laughing and
Yeah.
having a great time. And like you're sitting there and you're just like, why don't they do these more? It's like these people are so like, why did we lose putting comedies in theaters? Like, I don't understand.
Because people don't really see them in theaters.
It's just dumb because like I can't imagine like a better venue for comedy than like putting a group of people like in a theater together and just like feeding off of
Yeah.
each other's like
Although honestly, I could see a world where like a lot of these big budget movies like totally flop and make like 35, 40 million dollars and movie executives being like, "Wait, why don't we just make The Naked Gun if we're just gonna get like we can make 30, 40 million dollars with that movie too, right?"
I mean, the movie did actually like surprisingly well too. Like it's been like cleaning up for the most part. Not like obviously to something as huge as, like the big budget movies, but like it's doing business, which is just like, yeah, people want to go see comedies, man. Like you just got to give them like
Yeah.
something worth going to see and they'll go see it.
I don't know. I think that like this is gonna sound dramatic, but I think that Hollywood is healing from like the superhero sickness.
I mean,
Like
we can only hope, man, because that superhero genre like really just cannibalized like so many genres and just like took them away. Like outside of John Wick, like you don't really have any like mainstream that are just action franchises. Everything has to be kind of like
yeah.
superhero franchise to be action. They also stole like the comedies because that's where you go like because of the like Marvel humor. Like they just like subsidized every genre like into theirs. Like it just
Yeah,
absorbed.
it's not even that. I mean, they're action movies. They're like audience-friendly action movies. They have some comedic relief and stuff too. But they're action movies and it's just like Avengers made it so that you could make any movie you wanted. Why wouldn't you make the one that would make $1 billion or could potentially make $1 billion? Like if you do it right, you just made $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like it like made it's like and it feels like everybody was taking that shot for a really long time until it's just kind of like totally cannibalized itself where people are making movies like The Flash and
I
and
mean,
it's just
even
like what were you guys thinking? Like
yeah, and I mean, even now where they just put out the Fantastic Four, and that got good reviews, and audiences who went to saw it seemed to like it. But that movie, week over week now, has just plummeted. It had
right,
a 67% drop in its second week, and then another like
right,
60% drop to its third week. It's just like
right,
outside of the like main diehards, like the regular audience just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
right. Yeah, and I mean like you said, that movie was pretty well received and like it like fell off the face of the earth after a pretty good opening weekend, you know what I mean? So like I don't know, like that maybe did pretty well, but it's gonna be very front loaded. I just think it's gonna hit a point where you're like, if a movie can open $50 million, why wouldn't I make it The Naked Gun instead of instead of The Flash? You know what I mean? Like why would I ever make the big budget like CGI bloated like monstrosity versus
I mean, we can only hope. And so far, if anything, for August has shown us, it's that people will still show up. Maybe not in like the huge, ginormous droves, but people will show up to a point that you'll still make money for like movies outside of just being superheroes. Because like we released The Naked Gun, which was a comedy, it did business. This past weekend they released the horror movie Weapons. Weapons just opened to $42 million. Like they released
yeah,
Freaky or Friday, the movie opened to $30 million. Like
right. And
there's a
this
market
is
for
what I
this.
mean. Like that 30 or 40 million, like that's not necessarily like where you would think like, oh my God, smashing success like 10 years ago or even like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, um, but also like, that's kind of become more of the norm. And if you could turn it into like movies make that consistently, you know what I mean, throughout the summer, like you'll see a lot more like creative, like lower budget movies, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's healing, you know?
hopefully. And I mean, I'm here for it if it does, because we desperately need some fucking content that's not superhero movies. I need the goods. But we
Yeah.
turn it over to you now. People, go out, check all these movies out for yourself, as always, form your own opinions, and make sure you tune back with us here next week when we're in the bag with Julianne Moore for The Forgotten. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.